So, one thing that I've always thought, like in my head that would be detrimental to how you would live your life, right, is imagine every single morning you woke up and you look, you go to the mirror, you do your face, do your teeth, do your hair if you're a bit fancy and all that shit, and you're looking in the mirror, and every single day you've got a little counter above your head, and that counter is representing how many days left you've got on this world. And that counter every single day, whether it be 50, 100, 500, thousands, because, whatever age you are. Imagine every single day you looked at that above your head, how different would your life be and how different would you live it if you had so many, if, me at, 30, I think how old I was then, me at 30 years age, and I'm looking up and I've got 500 days left. How different would my life be, and how would I grace a day? Like, that's something that's always played in my mind, like how awesome would that be? Like, but just having that thought process of going, okay, I've got 10,000 days left. Oh, I've got heaps of time. I've got time to build this and do this. But then, and it never changes. It goes down, obviously, but it can't jump 500. It can't reduce 500. It just, every single day, it goes down one. And it's just one of those things. I think it'd be crazy to see how different the world will be if you knew how long you had left.
Yeah. I think this will get people to talk, especially your guests, and hopefully it gets the people that are listening talking about stuff as well, and like discussing with strangers, even like I said, putting yourself out there. Like, this has put me out there, being on camera.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so
that's what you got to do. It's all part of growing. Like, and as a man like our age, like you get to the point where you're kind of, all right, where do I grow? Obviously, you have kids as well, so it's into them. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, you become from an 18, 19-year-old, whatever, when you start to have kids. From that, your life's all about you up until that point, and then you don't stop to think, okay, as soon as you have that first kid, or a major event happens in life or something like that, your focus shifts from actually looking after yourself. And I think that's where mental health, men and women and everything in between, is so important, because it's, you take it for granted that you don't have to communicate, you don't talk, you don't open up, and then it's kind of, one day just fucking hits you like a ton of bricks. Like, we've all been there in whatever stage of our lives. But it's weird how it just stops becoming about you. You focus on everything else around you, your wife, your kids, your husband and other stuff, and you just stop thinking about you. And then you don't realise the damage that it does. But I think that's where the world's going in a good direction, because I think, look at your Joe Rogan podcast and shit as well, where he opens up his guests. And there's a lot of podcasts out there that talk about stuff, and even in person as well. I know, like, obviously I've worked on the mines where they have, the mental health days and stuff, and they have the stop for work and all that stuff. So I think it's going in the right direction, and I think it's becoming, the world's becoming very soft in a way that, I'm quite old fashioned in how I was raised. Obviously, like my dad back home. I think the world is becoming too soft in certain things, but I think mental health and talking about your problems is one of the good things that's coming out of this, is that people aren't afraid to speak up anymore. So I think it's good.